This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by Tommy Frank over Zoom. Tommy, first and foremost, how are you keeping?
I'm very well, and how are you? Thanks for having me on again.
No, it's good to catch up. It's good I appreciate you to give up some time today, especially when the weather's as beautiful as what it is, because we don't usually get it this good in September. So I appreciate you taking some time out. How's life? How's life back in the gym? Obviously getting ready for next weekend.
Yeah, just business as usual, mate. Honestly, I mean, I'm not even going to tell you what I do every day because it's just boring, mate. It's just boring. It's up for a run in the morning, back home, food, back to the gym, and that's what I do. That's my life. Even outside of, well, we always say I don't really have camps. You know, it's what I like to do. I really enjoy my training and just eating well anyway and things like that. So. You know, training's going good. Everything's on track. I'm in a very good place. Like you said, we've got a bit of sun, so I can't complain, mate. Everything's good.
Tommy, let's head straight into next weekend before we just work back over your last fight. Matt Windle, obviously your opponent, come next Saturday, the vacant British flyweight title on the line. Just talk to me about this fight, and with Matt, what are you expecting from him?
You know, firstly, I mean, I do know Matt. You know, I've known Matt on the circuit for some time, and we did some sparring before both our last fights because he boxed the week before I did, so he came up to the gym and we did some sparring. So that was good. You know, we helped each other out, and he's a really nice guy. You know, I had a good chat with him, and you know, he's obviously talented in other things. You know, he's a bit of a poet and things, and I think he does. I think he's a teacher or something. I think he works with kids and stuff. So, you know, he's definitely got a lot of strings to his bow, and boxing's one of them. You know, he had a good performance last time out on one of the Fight Zone shows. So I'm just to be honest with you, mate, I'm that grateful that I've actually got this opportunity, and you know, I've actually finally got my chance to fight for this belt and to win this belt. That's all I'm really focusing on, you know. And I know that Matt's a very, very game fighter, and he's going to come and he's definitely, you know, going to be well up for this. This is a big opportunity for him as well. But like I said, I feel like them stars have aligned for me, and you know, everything's on track, and I've finally got my shot to get my hands on this belt. So that's what I've got to do.
Sorry, Tom, I was just going to say, when people mention that they've sparred previously and then they go on to face each other, it's usually a few years gap between them previously sparring and them actually meeting in a ring in a competitive fight. This time around, it's only a few months difference from when you last sparred with him to getting into a ring now. So I suppose you can take a lot more away from that than what others can do when they've had past sparring going into a fight. So reflecting on it, what do you take away from your sparring experiences with Matt heading into next Saturday?
Yeah, like you said, it's a bit of a weird one because, you know, I suppose it were only a couple of months ago when we sparred, you know. So my last fight weren't too, you know, long ago, same as his. So, you know, when we were sparring, we didn't think that, you know, 12 weeks later or 8 or 9, 10 weeks later, we were going to actually be fighting for a British title. You know, so I think, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't take anything away from sparring anyway. I mean, I'll be honest, you know, on fight night, you know, I might get everything right in the gym. There's days where I'm off in sparring, you know, and things like that. You don't not every day in the gym is about, you know, looking good and looking on fire. You know, every fighter will say, oh, you know, I'm on fire in the gym, and you know, 90% of the time we are. But then there's that 10% where, you know, like Glyn always says, just good days, bad days, up days, down days. Sometimes you don't always spar like you want to, and then, you know, the next day you'll come in, you'll absolutely be on fire. So, you know, I think I think we sparred 8 rounds, me and Matt. And, you know, obviously, you know, there's certain things what you think, oh, this might work on him and vice versa. I'm sure that's what he's thinking about me. But I'm not going to go too deep into that sparring session, and try and really, figure out, what he did and things like that. I'm just going to take it for what it was. And that's just sparring. When you're on fight night in that ring under the lights, you've got them little 8-ounce gloves on. It's a completely different ball game anyway. So yeah, I'm not really looking into that spar too much. But like I said, it's a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? That we shared some rounds, and then a couple of months later we're actually fighting for this British title, because Matt's last fight we're down at light flyweight, so I think they were trying to get the Commonwealth on the line for that one. They couldn't do that for reasons I don't know. And then after my last fight, we finally managed to get the British title. I'm sure they offered it Matt, and I'm sure he won't turn it down. It's a very, very prestigious title, and it's, like I said, it's a big opportunity for him. So yeah, it's game on September 18th.
Tommy, for you to lift that British title, what would it mean to you to be crowned the British flyweight champion?
Oh, it's gonna be massive. It's gonna be massive for me. And I mean, to be like I said, I'm just so grateful to actually have this opportunity. So just a massive thank you to Dennis Hobbs and Steve Crump, all my team. Fight Academy, Fight Zone for getting the fight, for getting me this fight on this platform. How many fighters come off back-to-back losses and get a British title shot? It doesn't happen every day, so I'm very grateful. And I've told Dennis that, and basically they've done their job. So I need to step up now, and I need to do my job. So they've got me this over the line. Everything's there for me. I just need to make sure that I make that count. And I put all their hard work and my hard work to good use. And get my hands on that Lonsdale belt, and I'll be making history. I'll be Sheffield's first ever British flyweight champion. So that's my name in them history books forever. So if that's not an extra incentive, I don't know what is. So I'm very excited, and it's going to be a good night.
Tommy, as you mentioned, you had suffered back-to-back losses, and I imagine it's been away from this fight coming up. It's been a difficult period for you to have suffered back-to-back defeats. So just to go back to the last one, what went wrong for you? Obviously split decision defeat to Guarneros this time round, instead of obviously last time out you had to retire due to injury.
Yeah, it was just such a frustrating one for me, because the first loss in the way with the injury, and carrying on and trying to do what I could. And I thought I still had, a lot of success, even just using one arm in that first fight. And then, getting the rematch again, everything was just set up for me to avenge that. We sat down, and, we thought we're gonna box the guy, we're gonna frustrate him. And that's what we did. And I think that worked perfectly up until probably about round 8 or something like that, round 7, round 8, and then hindsight's a great thing. If you watch the fight back, I think it was perfect up until about round 7, round 8, and then really looking back on the fight, I should have then maybe put my foot down a little bit, got a bit busier and really drove it home and cemented it. But the way that I was reading the fight, the way that Glenn in the corner were reading the fight, is that we'd got them rounds in the bank. Guarneros were frustrated, and he was swinging and missing. And like I said, in our own heads, I think the fight was a lot wider than what obviously the judges and what other people were scoring it. So I think ultimately, the championship round, 10, 11, 12, if I'd have gone out there and, really cemented it, put my foot down, I think I'd have got it, hands down. But like I said, hindsight's a great thing. And in the corner, we thought we were well up. And, even now, as a fighter, when you've won or lost, and when that final bell rang. Although I thought this might be a bit closer than what we were thinking, I was still confident. I still felt in my heart that I'd done enough to win. But I just suppose it's different perspectives. It's depending where you were sat in the arena. One person might be watching a completely different fight, and obviously one of the judges went for me, and two went against me, by a round or two. So it was just sickening. Like I said, the first fight in December was sickening, but that last one really, really hurt me. It really hurt me, and I was kind of numb for a couple of days after that. Me and my fiance Charlie, we went to Scotland. I just thought I spoke to Glenn and had a bit of a debrief with him, and he just said, look, just switch your phone off, go away for a couple of days, and that's what I did. And I didn't want to think about boxing because it was hurting me that bad, and I just tried switching off. But then after a couple of days of licking your wounds, I love boxing, and it's always going to be in me. And I found myself watching boxing on YouTube again, just watching Marco Antonio Barrera fights on YouTube when I'm in a hotel room, and just you can't shut off from it. You can't try and get rid of it. And then I don't know. I just thought people are not really seeing how good I am on the back of that last performance. And although I thought I boxed well, and I did certain things what worked and what were good. Obviously, I didn't get the decision, and I need to be winning these fights. So it kind of ignited a bit of a fire in me. And then, like I said, I didn't really know what were going to happen. I spoke to Dennis, and he didn't know the situation with the British title, and I was kind of thinking that I'd have to have a 6 or an 8 rounder to come back and get a win, to be honest. But like I've said, it just ignited a bit of a fire in me. I got back in the gym and I got back to work, and I just had, proving people wrong, basically. Because I guess there were a few people that were thinking, where's it go from here? And I've just got that bee in my bonnet, I'll show you. So I got back in the gym, and I was training for a day in August. I thought it was going to be 27th of August. I was going to be out. And then, the situation with the British title got cleared up with Carl Youssef being injured, and the Matt Windle fight got approved. And like I said, it just that fire is just roaring now, and I'm going to take advantage of this brilliant opportunity. What I'm so thankful for, like I've said. So yeah.
Tommy, final thing, obviously having faced Guarneros twice, being frustrated, especially in that second one, well, in both of them rather, do you have a desire to have a trilogy bout at some point? Is it something which for yourself you want to put right?
I'd say so. I'd say, there's always going to be that question mark above his name, but I'm not looking past September 18th. The British title it's coming on with me. I'm gonna show how good I am, basically, and I'm gonna get that title. But that's the front thing on my mind, and that's the only thing I'm thinking about. I'm not looking past it. I'm not thinking, if I win this, it's gonna lead to this. It's just winning. It's just getting this next fight. And Guarneros is at the minute, it seems like a bit of a bad penny for me, doesn't it? So. If we do face each other down the line, I'm sure it won't be down the line. But I've got business to attend to first, and it's back on domestic business. So we'll get this British title. That's the main thing.
All right, Tommy, I appreciate your time today. We'll leave you to enjoy the rest of this beautiful weather whilst we have it. I appreciate your time, like I say. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.
Yeah, top man, Andi. Thank you. See you soon.